The first time I realized my family saw me as worthless, I was 13. My sister Victoria had just won another beauty pageant, and Mum was showing off her crown to the relatives at Sunday dinner. I tried to share news about winning the state science fair, but Mum cut me off mid-sentence. "Not now, Ingrid. No one wants to hear about your little computer hobby." That moment shaped my life more than they'll ever know. I'm Ingrid, and at 31, I've built a tech company worth millions. But to my family, I'm still that awkward teenager who chose coding over conforming to their idea of success. They made sure I never forgot it. The voicemail from my mother arrived yesterday, her voice tight with barely contained panic. "Ingrid, we need to talk. It's about Victoria. Please call back immediately." I played it 3 times, savoring each tremor of desperation. For once, they needed me. My phone buzzed again, Victoria this time. I let it go to voicemail. Another message popped up. "Sis, I know we haven't talked much lately. Can we meet? It's important." Important? Like when she borrowed my college fund for her failed boutique? Or when she told everyone at my graduation party that my startup was just a phase? I texted back, "Coffee tomorrow, 10 a.m., the usual place." Victoria was already there when I arrived, wearing designer clothes that probably cost more than most people's rent. But something was off. Her perfect makeup couldn't hide the shadows under her eyes. "You look terrible," I said, sliding into the seat across from her. "Always the charmer." She forced a laugh. "Look, I need your help. There's been some financial complications." I raised an eyebrow. "Complications?" "The business isn't doing as well as I hoped, and there were some investments that didn't pan out." She twisted her wedding ring, a nervous tell from childhood. "I had to borrow against Mom and Dad's house." "You did what?" "They agreed to it. Well, mostly. I just need a little help getting things back on track. You're doing so well with your computer thing. I thought maybe you could—" My phone buzzed. Mom again. I silenced it without looking away from Victoria. "How much?" She slid a folded paper across the table. I opened it, and my chest tightened at the number. It wasn't just bad. It was catastrophic. "Jesus, Victoria. This is more than their house is worth." "I know." Her voice cracked. "Dad doesn't know the full amount. If they lose the house, please, Ingrid, you're my only hope." I stared at her, this golden child who'd been given everything while I fought for scraps of attention. Now she wanted me to clean up her mess. "Remember my college graduation?" I asked quietly. She blinked, thrown by the change of subject. "What?" "You told everyone my tech company was cute, and I should get a real job." Mom laughed. "Dad said I was wasting my potential." "That was years ago. I was stupid. We all were." I pulled out my phone and pulled up my banking app. Victoria's eyes widened as I showed her the balance. "Oh my God," she whispered. "I had no idea you were successful, despite all of you?" I smiled. "I'll help." Relief flooded her face. "Really?" "Oh, Ingrid, thank you. I knew you'd—" "I'll need some time to arrange things. Tell Mom and Dad to meet us at First National Bank next Friday at 2 p.m. Bring all the paperwork." She practically lunged across the table to hug me. I remained still, not returning the embrace. If she'd been paying attention, she might have noticed my smile didn't reach my eyes. If she'd been smarter, she might have wondered why I chose that specific bank. But Victoria never was very observant when it came to me. I watched her practically skip out of the coffee shop, already texting Mom the good news. Then I made 2 calls, one to my lawyer, Lucia, and one to the foreclosure agent, Dean. Everything was falling into place. I spent the next 3 days digging through Victoria's financial records. Having access to cutting-edge data analysis software and a few well-placed connections in the banking industry made it almost too easy. What I found made me sick. "Look at this," I said to Lucia, spreading documents across her office desk. Credit cards in Mom and Dad's names, forged signatures, fake income statements for her influencer business. Lucia adjusted her glasses, scanning the papers. "This is extensive. How long has this been going on?" "Years. She's been bleeding them dry while maintaining her perfect Instagram lifestyle." I pulled up Victoria's social media on my phone. "See this vacation in Bali last month? Funded by a second mortgage she took out, using Dad's signature. And your parents have no idea?" "They know about maybe half of it. The rest—" I shook my head. "Victoria's always been good at hiding things. Remember when she totaled Dad's car in high school and convinced them I'd left the garage door open?" Lucia's eyes narrowed. "You're sure you want to go through with this? Once we start, there's no going back." "I'm sure." I stood up, gathering the papers. "I need to see someone first, though." An hour later, I pulled up to a modest house in the suburbs. My Aunt Evelyn opened the door before I could knock. "Ingrid." Her eyes widened. "I haven't seen you since Mom and Dad cut you off for defending me at Christmas 5 years ago." I finished. "Can I come in?" Her house was warm, filled with books and art. Everything our family home wasn't. She made tea while I explained everything. "Victoria's always been reckless," Evelyn said. "But this is criminal." "That's why I'm here." I pulled out my phone, showing her the property records. "I bought the mortgage to Mom and Dad's house last week. The bank was happy to sell. It was heading for default anyway." Evelyn set down her cup. "What are you planning?" "Justice. Or revenge. Maybe both." I met her eyes. "Will you help me?" She was quiet for a long moment. "Revenge might taste sweet, but it rots when swallowed whole." "This isn't just about revenge. It's about consequences. Victoria needs to learn she can't keep destroying lives and expecting others to fix it." My phone buzzed. "Victoria, again." The message made my blood boil. "Mom's crying because you won't answer her calls. Why are you being so difficult, after everything they've done for you?" "Everything they'd done for me." Like the time Mom forgot to tell me about my tech scholarship interview, or when Dad said my first investor meeting was less important than Victoria's fashion show. "I need you there," I told Evelyn, "at the bank meeting. You're the only one who ever saw through Victoria's act." "When?" "Next Friday. I've arranged everything." I hesitated. "There's more, but I can't tell you yet. Just trust me?" Evelyn reached across the table and squeezed my hand. "I trusted you when you were 13 and told me Victoria stole your college fund. I trust you now." As I drove home, Victoria called again. I ignored it, but her voicemail played through my car speakers. "Sis, the bank's being difficult about my new sponsorship deal. They need proof of assets by Friday. You're still helping, right? Call me back." I smiled. Victoria had no idea that her precious sponsorship deal, the one that would fix everything, depended on proving she was financially stable. No idea that by Friday, everyone would know the truth. My phone rang again. This time it was Caden, my former boss and current investor. "Everything's set," he said. "The documents will be ready tomorrow. Are you absolutely certain about this?" I thought about 13 years of dismissal and degradation, of Victoria's smirk every time she got away with something, of Mom and Dad's constant disappointment in the daughter who chose computers over conformity. "Yes," I said, "I'm certain." When I got home, I poured a glass of wine and opened my laptop. Victoria's latest Instagram post showed her at a luxury spa, caption reading, "Sometimes you need to treat yourself. That's due Dad's blessed, I'll living my best life." I took a sip of wine and opened my email. Time to set the final pieces in motion. The conference room at Lucia's law office felt too small for the tension it contained. Dean, the foreclosure agent, spread documents across the mahogany table while Lucia reviewed our strategy one final time. "The mortgage transfer is complete," Dean said, tapping a thick folder. "As of yesterday, you legally own their house." Lucia nodded. "And the timing?" "Perfect. Victoria's sponsorship meeting is scheduled for 4 p.m. Friday. By then, everything will have imploded." I traced my finger along the edge of the table. "She'll walk into that meeting with nothing but her lies." "Your parents' financial records arrived this morning," Lucia added, sliding over another folder. "It's worse than we thought. Victoria opened 7 credit cards in their names over the past 3 years. My hand trembled as I opened the folder. The numbers blurred together, but one detail caught my eye. She used Dad's card to buy a $12,000 handbag last month, the same week Mom told me they couldn't afford Dad's heart medication. A memory hit me like a punch to the gut. Last Thanksgiving, standing in the kitchen, overhearing Victoria talk to our cousin. "Poor Ingrid," she'd said, voice dripping with fake sympathy. "She'll always be jealous of me. She knows her place, the family disappointment." "Ms. Evans." Dean's voice pulled me back. "We need to discuss the foreclosure timeline." I straightened in my chair. "Right. Walk me through it." For the next hour, we refined every detail. The documents would be presented in precise order. First, proof of Victoria's fraud. Then, the mortgage transfer. Finally, the foreclosure notice. "Remember," Lucia cautioned, "once we start, we can't stop." "Are you prepared for their reactions?" "I've been preparing for this my whole life." My phone lit up with a text from Victoria. "Found the perfect dress for Friday. Can't wait to sign that sponsorship deal. You're an angel for helping, sis." I showed it to Lucia, who raised an eyebrow. "She has no idea, does she?" "Victoria never bothered to understand what I do. She thinks I'm just some computer nerd who got lucky." I smiled coldly. "She's about to learn how wrong she is." After the meeting, I drove to First National Bank to confirm the final arrangements. The manager, an old friend from my startup days, assured me everything was set. "Conference room A, 2 p.m. Friday," he said. "We'll have security nearby, just in case." "Thanks, Mark. I appreciate your discretion." On my way out, I passed a young woman crying at the loan desk. The scene was too familiar. Me at 18, begging for a student loan after Victoria had drained my college fund. Mom had stood there, defending Victoria's emergency, while I watched my dreams crumble. Not anymore. Back home, I found an email from my tech company's board. Our latest project had exceeded projections. The stock value would triple by month's end. I forwarded it to Caden with a simple message. Perfect timing. He replied instantly, "Karma's a bitch. Give them hell." That night, I couldn't sleep. I pulled out my old diary, reading entries from years of gaslighting and manipulation. Mom cancelled my coding competition to attend Victoria's modelling shoot. Dad said my scholarship wasn't worth celebrating because it wasn't a real achievement. Victoria told everyone my first investor meeting was actually a blind date that went wrong. My phone buzzed. A text from Evelyn. "Just checked Victoria's social media. She's bragging about some big announcement coming Friday. You're really going to do this?" I texted back, "Watch me." Another message popped up, this time from Mom. "Ingrid, why aren't you returning our calls? After everything we've sacrificed for you." Sacrificed? Right. Like my self-worth, my confidence, my chance at a normal family. I opened my laptop and pulled up the final document, a press release, already prepared, detailing Victoria's financial misconduct. One click would send it to every major fashion and lifestyle blog the moment our bank meeting ended. Friday couldn't come soon enough. I set my alarm for 6 a.m. Tomorrow, I'd meet with the bank's PR team to coordinate the aftermath. Everything had to be perfect, because on Friday at 2 p.m., I wasn't just taking back my family's house. I was taking back my power. 2 days before the bank meeting, Mom's desperate voicemails turned into a constant barrage of texts. Victoria's crying herself to sleep. "Why are you being so difficult? We raised you better than this. Your sister needs you." I muted my phone and focused on my laptop, reviewing Victoria's latest financial moves. She was getting sloppy, making bigger mistakes. Yesterday, she'd tried to take out another loan using Dad's information. The doorbell rang. I wasn't expecting anyone. Through the peephole, I saw Dad standing there, looking older than I remembered. His hands were shoved in his pockets, a nervous habit I'd inherited. I opened the door but blocked the entrance. "Dad." "Ingrid?" He cleared his throat. "Can I come in?" It was the first time he'd visited my apartment, ever. I stepped aside, watching him take in my success, the modern furniture, the wall of tech awards, the view of downtown. "Nice place," he said, not meeting my eyes. "What do you want?" He pulled out a crumpled envelope. "The bank sent this yesterday. I don't understand." His voice cracked. "They're saying the house—" "Sit down, Dad." He sank into my leather couch, looking lost. I went to my office and returned with a thick folder. "This is what your favorite daughter really did with your signature," I said, dropping it in his lap. His hands shook as he opened it. Credit card statements, loan documents. Forged signatures, all in Victoria's flowing handwriting. "No," he whispered. "She wouldn't." The Bali trip, the new car, her successful influencer business. I pulled up her Instagram on my TV screen. All lies, all funded with your money. "But she said—" He flipped through more pages, color draining from his face. "These amounts. It's not possible. Remember my college graduation?" I sat across from him. "You said I was wasting my potential in tech." That Victoria was the smart one for focusing on real success. "Ingrid, please." The same day, she maxed out your credit card buying designer clothes for her social media posts. While you told me I was a disappointment, she was stealing your retirement fund. Dad's shoulders slumped. "What are we going to do?" "We?" I laughed. "There is no we." You made that clear years ago. You're my daughter. Am I? Because when Victoria stole my college fund, you said I should be grateful she needed it more. When she ruined my first investor meeting by spreading rumors, you told me to stop being dramatic. My phone buzzed. Victoria had sent a video message, her face tear-stained but perfectly made up. Sis, please, I know I messed up, but I can fix this. The sponsorship deal on Friday will change everything. I just need you to help with the bank meeting first. Please don't let Mom and Dad lose their house because of me. I showed Dad the message. Still think she's the smart one? He buried his face in his hands. We should have listened. Should have seen. You saw exactly what you wanted to see. I stood up. The bank meeting is still on for Friday. Bring Mom and Victoria. What's going to happen? I walked to the door and opened it. Everything you deserve. He stopped in the doorway, looking smaller than I'd ever seen him. Your mother. She won't survive losing the house. Maybe she should have thought about that before letting Victoria gamble it away. After he left, I called Evelyn. He came to see you, didn't he? She asked. How did you know? He called me right after. First time in 5 years. She paused. He's scared, Ingrid. Good. Are you sure you want to go through with Friday? I looked at my wall of achievements, every award, every success they'd dismissed. They're about to learn what their computer nerd daughter is really capable of. My phone lit up with another message from Victoria. Just picked up my outfit for the sponsorship meeting. Can't wait to show everyone what I've built. Love you, sis. I smiled at the irony. By Friday afternoon, everyone would indeed see exactly what Victoria had built. A house of cards, ready to fall. The day before the bank meeting, Victoria's carefully constructed world started crumbling. It began with a single comment on her latest Instagram post. Heard your sponsorship deal might be in trouble. Everything okay, hun? Within hours, the whispers spread through her influencer circles. Her phone calls became more frantic. Ingrid, people are saying things. She left a message, voice trembling. Did you tell someone about our situation? I was at Evelyn's house when Victoria's Mercedes screeched into the driveway. Through the window, I watched my sister check her makeup before storming up to the door. Let me handle this, Evelyn said, squeezing my shoulder. The doorbell rang 5 times in quick succession. Evelyn opened the door to find Victoria, designer handbag clutched like a shield. Where's Ingrid? I know she's here. Victoria tried to peer past Evelyn. Her car's outside. She doesn't want to see you. This is ridiculous. My whole career is falling apart, and she's hiding? Victoria's voice cracked. Someone's spreading rumors about my finances. My sponsors are calling, asking questions. You wanted the crown, baby, Evelyn said coldly. Time to wear it. What's that supposed to mean? Victoria pushed past Evelyn into the house, freezing when she saw me. Ingrid, thank God. We need to talk about tomorrow. No, I said, standing. We don't. What did you do? Her eyes narrowed. Are you behind these rumors? I pulled out my phone, showing her the bank's foreclosure notice. They're not rumors, Victoria. They're facts. She grabbed the phone, scrolling frantically. This can't be real. Mom and Dad's house?
Remember my tech award ceremony junior year? I asked quietly. The one you all skipped for your modeling shoot. What does that have to do with? I won first place, got offered an internship that launched my career. But you told everyone I was just playing with computers while you were building something real. I took my phone back. Guess which one of us actually built something? Victoria's perfect facade cracked. I can explain everything. The sponsorship deal tomorrow. Won't happen. I smiled. Your meeting's at 4 p.m., right? Trust me, by then you won't have a brand left to sponsor. She grabbed my arm. You can't do this. I'm your sister. You're a fraud who used our parents as an ATM. They wanted to help me. They believed in me. They enabled you, Evelyn cut in, and now everyone's paying the price. Victoria's phone buzzed, another comment on her latest post. Is it true about the credit card fraud? The colour drained from her face. She turned to me, mascara starting to run. Please, Ingrid, I'll do anything. Just help me fix this. Like you helped me? I walked to the door. The bank meeting's at 2 p.m. tomorrow. Don't be late. Wait! She fumbled in her bag, pulling out a folded paper. Look, I have a plan to pay everything back. Just give me 6 months. I took the paper without looking at it. You know what Mom said when I tried to warn her about your spending last year. Victoria knows what she's doing. Why can't you be more like your sister? Tears streaked down her face. I'm sorry. I never meant... Get out. After she left, Evelyn poured us both a generous glass of wine. You okay? Better than okay. I unfolded Victoria's plan. It was just more lies, more promises to pay, backed by nothing but delusion. Tomorrow can't come soon enough. My phone lit up with a notification. Victoria had posted on Instagram. To my dear followers, someone is trying to destroy everything I've built. The truth will come out tomorrow. Trust in me. Chotsubel, blessed, standings, strong. Evelyn read it over my shoulder and snorted. She still thinks she can spin this. Let her try. I finished my wine. By this time tomorrow, her followers will know exactly what she built, a life of lies funded by stolen money. And your parents? I thought about the folder waiting at the bank, filled with years of evidence, about Mom's constant dismissal and Dad's disappointment, about all the times they chose Victoria's lies over my truth. They made their choice, I said. Tomorrow, they'll face the consequences. Evelyn hugged me tight. Whatever happens, I'm proud of you. For the first time in years, someone's pride in me actually mattered. I arrived at First National Bank 30 minutes early. Lucia and Dean were already there, arranging documents in precise order. Evelyn sat quietly in the corner, a silent witness to what was about to unfold. At 1:58 p.m., my family walked in. Mom wore her Sunday best, the outfit she reserved for impressing people. Dad looked like he hadn't slept. Victoria, despite everything, had managed to dress like she was heading to a photo shoot. Darling. Mom rushed forward to hug me. I stepped back. Let's sit down, I said, gesturing to the conference table. Victoria's eyes darted between Lucia and Dean. Who are they? I thought this was a family meeting. Lucia, my attorney. And Dean, from the bank's foreclosure department. Foreclosure? Mom's voice rose. But you said you'd help. I am helping. I nodded to Lucia. Show them. One by one, Lucia laid out the documents. Credit card statements, loan applications, forged signatures. With each paper, Victoria's perfect posture crumbled a little more. "What is this?" Dad whispered, though his face showed he already knew. "Evidence," I said, "of every dollar Victoria stole, every lie she told, every signature she forged." Mom shook her head frantically. "No, there must be a mistake. Victoria would never—" "The Bali trip?" I cut in. "Dad's signature, the new car, Mom's credit card, the successful business, all funded with stolen money." "I was going to pay it back!" Victoria burst out. "The sponsorship deal today—" "Won't happen." I slid my phone across the table, showing her social media engagement numbers plummeting in real time. "Your followers already know the truth. Check your email. The sponsors pulled out an hour ago." Mom started to cry. Dad just stared at the papers, shoulders slumped in defeat. "But that's not even the best part," I continued, nodding to Dean. "Show them." Dean pulled out the final document. "As of last week, the mortgage on your house was transferred to a new owner." "What?" Mom grabbed the paper. "Who would—" "Me." I leaned forward. "I bought it when it went into default, thanks to Victoria's secret loans." The silence was deafening. Victoria's perfect makeup couldn't hide her shock. Mom's hands trembled. Dad looked like he'd aged 10 years in 10 minutes. "Ingrid," Mom pleaded, "we're your family." "Family?" I laughed. "Was it family when you skipped my graduation for Victoria's photo shoot? When you told everyone my tech company was a hobby? When you watched Victoria steal my college fund and said, I should be grateful?" "I didn't mean—" Victoria started. "Save it." I stood up. "This isn't about saving you. This is your consequence." "What are you going to do?" Dad asked quietly. "The house goes into foreclosure tomorrow. You have 48 hours to move out." Mom collapsed into sobs. Victoria's carefully constructed facade finally shattered. "You can't do this!" she screamed. "I'm your sister!" "You're a fraud," I said calmly. "And in about—" I checked my watch. 2 hours. Everyone will know it. I've sent proof of your financial misconduct to every sponsor, every fashion blog, every influencer in your network." "You've destroyed everything," Mom whispered. "No," I corrected her. "Victoria destroyed everything. I'm just making sure she can't hurt anyone else." I gathered my things, nodding to Lucia and Dean. "The paperwork's on the table. Everything's legal and binding. Don't bother trying to fight it." As I walked to the door, Victoria called out, "Where are we supposed to go?" I turned back one last time. "Not my problem. For once in your life, Victoria, figure it out yourself." Evelyn followed me out. In the lobby, we could still hear Mom's sobs echoing from the conference room. "Feel better?" Evelyn asked. "Not better." I checked my phone. Victoria's sponsorship meeting would start in less than 2 hours. "Just finished." My phone buzzed with a text from Lucia. "They're signing the papers. It's done." Outside, the summer sun was bright and harsh. I could see Victoria's Mercedes in the parking lot, probably the last expensive thing she'd owned for a long time. "Want to get coffee?" Evelyn offered. I shook my head. "I need to be alone for this part." Because in 2 hours, Victoria's carefully curated world would implode, and I wanted to watch it happen in peace. The aftermath hit faster than even I expected. By sunset, Victoria's Instagram followers had dropped by 50,000. Her sponsorship meeting never happened. They cancelled via email 15 minutes before she was supposed to arrive. I watched it all unfold from my home office, glass of wine in hand. The fashion blogs picked up the story first. Influencers' empire built on family fraud. Social media stars' financial house of cards collapses. From Insta-famous to infamous, the fall of Victoria. My phone hadn't stopped ringing. Mom's voicemails grew increasingly hysterical. "How could you do this to your own sister? We'll be homeless because of you. I should never have let you get away with this attitude." I deleted them all without listening to the end. The doorbell rang. Evelyn stood there with 2 bottles of wine and takeout. "Thought you might need company," she said, pushing past me. "The moving trucks are at their house already." That was fast. "Victoria's crying on your parents' front lawn. Paparazzi everywhere." She poured us both generous glasses. Local news showed up too. My phone lit up with a text from Lucia. "Victoria's trying to claim identity theft. Don't worry, we have everything documented." "Of course she is," I muttered. Evelyn turned on the TV just as Victoria appeared on the evening news, mascara running, clutching her designer handbag like a lifeline. "This is all a misunderstanding," she sobbed to the reporter. "My sister, she's always been jealous of my success. She's trying to destroy me." I laughed darkly. "Jealous of what?" "Her talent for forgery," the reporter continued. "Sources say the influencer's parents are also victims, losing their home due to unauthorized loans taken in their names." I muted the TV as my phone buzzed again. A text from Dad. "Your mother's in bed with sedatives. I hope you're happy." Evelyn read it over my shoulder. "Are you?" "Happy?" Before I could answer, an envelope slid under my door, the doorman's handwriting on the front. "Delivered by Ms. Victoria." "Don't open it," Evelyn warned. I did anyway. Inside was a letter in Victoria's flowing script. "Dear sister, you've won. You've taken everything from me. My career, my reputation, Mom and Dad's house. I hope your revenge tastes sweet. But remember this, I'm still their daughter, their first daughter. And no matter how much money you make or what you do to us, that will never change. You'll always be the bitter little girl playing with computers while I lived in the spotlight. The difference is, now everyone will know how cruel you really are. If you have any heart left, please help us. Not for me, but for Mom and Dad. Victoria." I walked to my fireplace, letter in hand. "What are you going to do?" Evelyn asked. The envelope dropped into the flames. "Nothing." My phone lit up with notifications. Victoria's biggest sponsor had released a statement formally cutting ties. Her modeling agency dropped her. The fashion magazine that was going to feature her next month pulled the story. "Your parents called me," Evelyn said quietly. "They're staying at a motel off Highway 9. Good to know they have somewhere to go." "Ingrid?" She hesitated. "The revenge you wanted? It's done. They're destroyed. Maybe now." "Now, nothing." I refilled my wine. They made their choices. For years, they chose Victoria's lies over my truth. They can live with the consequences. Another text from Dad. "We need to talk. Please." I blocked his number. The TV showed moving trucks pulling away from my parents' house. My house, now. Victoria's Mercedes was gone from the driveway. Mom's prized rose garden looked wilted in the evening light. What will you do with the house? Evelyn asked. Sell it. Use the money to fund scholarships for girls in tech. I smiled. Seems fitting. My phone buzzed one last time. An email from Victoria's former sponsors asking about investing in my tech company instead. Karma really was a beautiful thing. Evelyn raised her glass. To consequences? To truth, I replied. Outside, the sun set on my family's former life. Tomorrow they'd wake up to their new reality, one without their perfect daughter's perfect lies. And me, I'd wake up exactly as I had for years, successful, independent, free. Only now, everyone else would know it too. The key to my parents' house felt heavy in my hand. The moving company had cleared everything out yesterday, leaving only echoes and empty rooms. I walked through each space, memories flooding back with every step. My phone buzzed. A text from Caden. Board meeting in an hour. Big announcement today. I took one last look at Victoria's old room, now stripped of its pageant trophies and fashion magazines. A forgotten photo lay in the corner, Victoria and me as kids, before the competition and resentment took over. I left it there. The tech company's conference room was packed when I arrived. Caden stood at the front, grinning. Ready to change some lives? He asked. I nodded, taking my place beside him. The board members settled in their seats as I began my presentation. Today, we're launching the Future Innovators Foundation, I announced, pulling up the first slide. A scholarship program for young women entering tech without family support. The room grew quiet as I continued. We're allocating $10 million in initial funding. The money from my parents' house sale will create an additional endowment. Questions flew from all directions. I answered each one, my confidence growing. This wasn't revenge anymore. It was revolution. My phone lit up with a news alert. Disgraced influencer Victoria spotted working retail. I swiped it away without reading further. After the meeting, Lucia called. Your mother's trying to contest the house sale. Let her try, I said. Everything's ironclad. Also, Victoria's lawyer reached out. She's willing to make a public apology if you'll help with her legal fees. I laughed. Not a chance. Walking to my car, I spotted a familiar figure by the entrance. Dad. He looked smaller somehow, wearing clothes that hadn't seen a dry cleaner in weeks. Ingrid, he called out. Please, just 5 minutes. I should have walked away. Instead, I stopped. Why are you here? I saw the news about your foundation. He shifted uncomfortably. Helping girls without family support? That's about you, isn't it? It's about doing better than you did. We're staying with your Aunt Margaret, he said. Victoria's... She's not doing well. Your mother barely leaves her room. Still trying to make me feel guilty? No. He pulled out a wrinkled envelope. I found your old college acceptance letters, the ones Victoria told us you never received. I should have known she was lying. I took the envelope but didn't open it. You should have known a lot of things. Can we ever fix this? Fix what, Dad? The years of choosing Victoria? The constant disappointment? Or the money she stole while you looked the other way? He had no answer. My phone buzzed. Evelyn. Dinner tonight? Big news to share. I have to go, I told Dad. Don't come here again. At Evelyn's house that evening, she poured wine and revealed her news. She'd been offered a position on my foundation's board. You're qualified, I said. You've been supporting young women longer than anyone I know. Speaking of support, she hesitated. Victoria came to see me today. She's different now, humbled. People don't change that fast. Maybe not, but consequences change them. She squeezed my hand. You won, Ingrid. The question is, what will you do with that victory? I thought about Dad's visit, about Victoria's fall from grace, about Mom's silence. I'll build something better, I said. Something real. My phone lit up with an email. The first scholarship applications were coming in. Young women with dreams bigger than their circumstances, fighting for a chance in tech. I opened one, at random. My family doesn't understand my passion for coding, but I won't let that stop me. Evelyn read over my shoulder. Remind you of anyone? I smiled, really smiled, for the first time in weeks. Let's help her prove them wrong. Outside, the city lights twinkled like stars. Somewhere out there, my family was living with their choices, and I was finally living for myself. Not as the invisible daughter, not as Victoria's bitter sister, not as the family disappointment, just as Ingrid, the woman who built her own empire from the ashes of their lies, and that was better than any revenge.